Wells gets on stage and they did superlatives. Best kisser was one.
Of feet.
Most flirt. Oh, kisser feet.
Marissa.
Went to Marissa, yes. Flirt was Kenny. And then, most likely to end up together or live happily ever after or whatever it was. End up together in real life. And that went to Noah and Abigail. And the whole episode did kind of have a theme of these two being like, everybody's talking about how we're this amazing couple and I don't know if we're actually there. And it just feels like maybe there was a lot of outside pressure for them or people thinking like, oh, Noah and Abigail, they've been together from the beginning. So like they're totally going to leave this thing together. They're so set, which is when we start to see, skipping over, obviously prom king and queen go to Joe and Serena.
Of course.
Almost just skipped over.
I thought maybe we were working our way up to it.
I know, but we got to save because, Noah and Abigail happened after. But Joe and Serena.
That picture of Joe,
beautiful prom king and queen,
nearly took me out.
Yeah, it did.
It did take me out, actually. Right. I fell over.
There's a picture of you
with that
just
little
falling over
crown on his head.
I get it.
Just added something that there aren't really words to describe.
Yeah, that crooked crown and that smile of his.
Yeah.
What is the word to describe a word that you can't describe?
Indescribable.
I think that's right.
Nailed it.
That's right.
I think that's the word.
Fran, that's the one. That's the one.
Oh, God, I just snorted.
That's the one.
I really thought I had something.
That's the one.
I was like, this is about to
coming
be
up with a new
groundbreaking.
Word. Yeah.
Indescribable.
You're saying that the way that Joe made you feel indescribable?
Is indescribable.
Certainly. I can see that. And it was. They look great up there with the crowns.
They did. They really did look fantastic. We love them so much. We knew they had to win. Like, if anybody else won, the fix was in.
I actually, for a split second, thought it might go to Riley and Marissa. I could have seen that for half a second, but Joe and Serena, they're the couple of paradise right now.
Definitely. And then that is when, the episode is ending and we see Noah pull Abigail and basically tell her, I've had some doubts and I worked myself up to this point thinking like I really want to make it work with you, but like are my feelings really like that strong, or is it just because you're such a great person and I want to like you, like I want to love you and I know like I love you as a person, but like am I in love with you? Doesn't seem like it. And then he hit her with, I just don't think you're my person, which
it's a lot.
Is hard.
So
that's like mean.
That's not mean. That's the one issue I'm having with you about this whole situation. Because I get we talked
I just think there's a way to break up with her without using the phrase "I just don't think you're my person."
But I think that is like the most kind of respectful way to go about it. Being like, I love you as a person. I think you're great. I think all the quality. You're not a bad person at all. All the qualities about you are awesome.
I guess there's no
but
easy
you
way
are
to
not.
Say it.
For me,
right? It's like, what else is he gonna say? Oh, like I'm just not in love with you. So
and that's meaner.
They all hurt.
It feels the most honest, unfortunately.
Yes. Yeah, and it does suck because we did see literally the night before Noah say like I am falling in love with you, and there was no response there, so maybe that influenced this, but rightfully so. Abigail is like, well, what happened between then and now, and if you have had those feelings, like why did you say that to me, or like why didn't you bring this up earlier? Because now she had said she was feeling really blindsided, and he was very emotional. He did seem upset about it. Abigail also upset about it, And I don't know, it did feel like this is maybe where that relationship was headed, just because there were so many times this season that one of them or both of them were like, I don't really know what the other person's thinking, and we're not communicating that well. And communication is key. No communication, your relationship's going to fail.
I agree. I think the signs were there.
Yeah.
And if they really wanted to get where they thought they were going to go, they had to have those conversations along the way, instead of having it bubble up and then every once in a while being like, oh, I really like you. Yeah, should we try to keep doing this or should we not? Yeah, let's keep doing it. Those aren't like real conversations. Those are just like Band-Aids on a bigger problem. So it all boils up to the top by the end, and then Noah says, I'm falling in love with you, gets nothing, probably sends him into a bit of a spiral. And then he, blindsides Abigail, like she said, the next night. It just didn't feel like it was going to work, unfortunately, because I think everybody liked them as a couple.
From what we saw, it didn't really seem like they ever had that. From what we saw, they could have actually, had that much of like a really deep conversation that had a lot of meaning.
Right, like Marissa and Riley had this conversation 2 weeks ago.
Kenny and Mari even too, I feel like have, just hit a different level.
Totally. And
Joe and Serena, it seems like, I don't know, Joe and Serena seem so confident they're just going to make it work. They're like, the plan is beginning of our relationship, we go back and forth, we want to see each other, and that's we'll be good.
That makes the most sense.
Yeah.
I think that Abigail and Noah, it was kind of just like some people you have like a real connection with, or you just have a fling. Yeah. And I think for Noah and Abigail, it was like they had a little crush, a little fling, but they're not like totally obsessed with each other.
And I think on paper, they probably did really think that they would work, and it just wasn't quite there. I just don't really know where Abigail was at, because like, how emotionally invested in it was she, that because she hasn't really voiced it. So like, did she really, really like him, and now like she's getting heartbroken, or like did she also kind of have some doubts? We're not really sure.
She did say to the camera that
she was gonna say that,
that she was falling in love with Noah. Yeah. So I guess that's a little bit of an inside look, but is that because Noah said it the night before? There's certainly probably part of that. Like, we never really did get a full read on how she felt. I think her
feelings were there, and she was just sometimes too afraid to talk to Noah about them completely. But we're going to see how that totally ends next week. We have the 3-hour finale coming up next week. Another 3-hour episode.
Fuck yeah.
Looks like we're going to get a lot. It's the end here, folks. So we're going to get some proposals, probably some breakups. And
who do you think?
Kendall's showing up again.
Yeah. Who do you think?
Go home. Go home.
Which do you think?
The fact that Kendall's just been sitting like in the hotel, they're bringing her back again.
Crazy.
Unbelievable.
How many couples and which ones do you think end in a proposal?
I'm going Joe and Serena.
Yep.
Riley and Marissa. 3? Good 3? Yeah, Kenny and Mari. I'm going with those 3. I'm going to say engaged. Or a proposal happens. I think Becca and Thomas are still together. Noah and Abigail seem like they're over. And the rest, I don't think anybody's serious enough in the rest of the group.
I could also weirdly see Serena and Joe not getting engaged and just like being the happiest couple in the world as they leave the beach.
I mean, that is what I don't know why I'm just called him Grocery Store Joe. That is what Joe.
What's his name?
I know, but I feel like we're past it.
Joe, he's not Dr. Joe.
Yeah, I feel like Joe did that already.
Yeah.
Not that that's a reason why he would get engaged this time around, but he knows that also is an option because, he did it for 2 years after he was on the show.
I think Marissa and Riley are a no doubter.
Yeah, they seem like ready.
Those 2 are getting married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They seem ready. The way they're talking about it, they seem super ready for this. And it does kind of feel like Kenny and Mari are very honest and open with each other and are like keep actually talking about an engagement. So
there is, unfortunately, usually one couple that just breaks your heart. That just completely split right at the end.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the one from the last couple of years. But there's always one where it's like...
I mean, I think that's Abigail and Noah, but there could be another one. If I had to pick one, that would be Kenny and Mari, I think.
Yeah, I think that's right.